Hello everybody and welcome to the second to Space Engineers beginner tutorial. Now sorry for the very large gap, we were having difficulties, and as you can see these trees have hitboxes and we can climb them.
Until I cut it down.
Until you cut it down. Eric's just cut it down and he's fallen to the ground. Anyway, this episode is going to be converting your survival pod to a respawn rover and basic wheel setup. Now, I am going to be doing the turning it into a wheeled vehicle, and Eric here is going to be talking about wheel setup. So, what you want to do, firstly, is make sure it's connected to the ground on all of the landing gears. So just go in here, go into your seat, and press K, go to gear, press the I in the corner, select all of these with obviously shift click, unlock them, and lock them again.
One of them isn't locked.
75% of them are attached to the ground, so that's fine. Then you want to dig a hole here, a hole here, a hole here, and a hole here, and hope that not many of them disconnect. Then grind this block, these blocks here on this side, and this side, and then the same on the back. Just like so.
Obviously, you will need to mine a lot more stone to get the iron to make the stuff, but oh well.
Now, we can't actually build the wheels because of the progression, so what you want to do is just grind off one of the landing gears that's not connected to below the functional line, and then weld it back up. Now we'll unlock the wheels. Then you just want to get some of your wheels and place them like so, with the thicker bit pointing down. No guarantee this will place a wheel. If it doesn't place a wheel, it basically just means there's not enough room around the suspension, so it won't place it. As you can see, none of these have enough room. So you need to get your drill out and just dig a deeper hole.
Now, Diddy, be careful when you're digging out that landing gear.
Yes, don't. If it does just disconnect, you're stuck basically. Right, then you want to. Then Eric is in here, so Eric, you show them.
I can't add wheel.
Oh.
Diddy.
Oh, do you have do you not have access to it?
You won't actually physically be able to place wheels here.
Yes, of course you won't.
Because there's the thruster and then these two blocks here.
So you actually need to grind this thruster off.
Come on, Diddy, call yourself a professional.
I'm not. I am a professional. You must do exactly what I say.
No.
No, that's the right idea.
Now you should be able to place the wheels.
Okay. Go into here. Add wheel. That did not work on any of them.
What size are the wheels?
3x3.
Oh yeah, these are particularly awkward to place. Try it now.
Okay, as you can see, this front wheel, back wheel, has finally placed.
Now we just have to go and delete more, grind down more blocks, and then all four of our wheels will be able to be placed. And there we go. Right, place it.
Right. The next thing you want to do is get the components, put them in the basic refinery, and make the components for the suspension and
Basic
the wheels.
refinery?
Yeah, basic. Get the stone, put it in the basic refinery, get the ingots out of there, and make the resources required to build this wheel. As you can see, I have the resources in my inventory from grinding the thrusters down. So you should be able to make at least the wheels.
Yeah, at least just not the suspension, just the wheels, I think.
Yeah, because you need the small steel tube. And you might need some more steel plates. If you just want to come round and weld up this rest of this front wheel, then you want to weld up what's left in your inventory and then put it in your build planet. If you get the back wheels,
Hang on, Diddy, I can still put more stuff in there.
to get stuff out of your build planet, if your teammate is awkward and builds stuff after you, you just right mouse on it here. We should just need the small steel tubes for most of these and some steel plates.
Yes, that's basically it.
So we shall go over to our thing, deposit everything in here, middle mouse button to withdraw it. I think some bits might be there, which it isn't. Of course, the assembler's not on, is it?
Nope.
So make sure your assembler is turned on before you try and build stuff. Now, we have enough iron for this. You might not. If you don't, no big deal. Go mine some more with your hand drill.
Pretty much.
Okay. Middle mouse button. All components successfully withdrawn. Just weld this up. And this one. And this one. Now then, the next step
Gets slightly more complicated, and you can break stuff.
no, not the step you're thinking of.
Oh.
This seat here, you're not actually going to be able to control the wheels from. So what you need to do is you need to grind out these front blocks here and the seat.
What are you grinding out? On the seat. No, you dropped the ammo. Where'd it go?
I also accidentally just disconnected it.
What, the landing gear?
Yeah. And that's what happens when you disconnect it. It ragdolls and falls off.
We may as well just destroy the rest of the landing gear now.
Yeah, so Eric is going to destroy these now. Control seat, you should have them unlocked when you build the things. You actually don't need to grind off the ones at the front. I forgot it was this cockpit. So you can put these back if you want. Weld this up. You might have some of the bits. Right click, add to build planner, up here, and shift click, shift middle mouse. Now, if this is a bit too fast paced, just leave a comment and we'll be able to answer your question or whatever.
I'm stuck.
If you get stuck, well, you're stuck back in space and you can respawn if you're seriously stuck. Now then, here we go.
I would recommend, Diddy, you run through the vehicle controls, because we don't want any
Vehicle controls
accidents.
Is W and S for backwards and forwards, A and D to obviously go left and right. Now there is one last thing we need to put on this. It is a gyroscope. We are just going to place that up here, out of harm's way. Get the components and put them to production. I think we started off with about 500 iron, so if you've got that, you should hopefully be able to make these modifications. Stop being annoying, Eric.
What?
You know that noise is seriously annoying. Now, what this gyroscope does is, okay, X is like charging your suspension.
No!
And you can do jumps with it. I don't recommend you do. This is just for purposes of showing what the gyroscope does. The gyroscope allows you to tilt, so if you fall off a cliff or something like this, you can tip yourself forwards. P is the parking brake.
Don't press P!
It is recommended by most Space Engineers players that you don't do this because P disconnects connectors.
And landing gears.
What is actually recommended is press G, drag the control seat to your hotbar at the bottom, and then select the handbrake on off, and then this is now attached to 1, so you'll be able to turn the handbrake off.
You're
Now
running
then.
over me.
Here we go. Eric, it is your turn to explain wheel controls. Now this...
Right.
Okay, no, hang on. One last thing. This is not going to be particularly stable because the wheels are close together. Over to you.
Right then, so wheel setup. Basically you can just place them and drive off, and it'll be perfectly fine. But there are a few things you can do to make this easier.
And you can just max all the settings out.
And DDI have got access tonight, so could you please share with faculty?
Okay, if you have this problem out the seat, what you want to do is press K, select your wheels. Apparently I can't share the wheels with my faction. Okay, select everything, and then transfer to nobody, then transfer to me, and select share with faction. Hopefully Eric will be able to do it now.
And I still have access tonight to the wheels. Wheels are one of those things, along with wheels, I think thrusters, that you can't have more than one person owning them for some reason.
On.
I don't know if it's a bug or not,
I'll
but
transfer everything to you, and then you share it with faction.
okay.
I now can't get out of this seat because it's not my thing.
What?
If you get in a seat and then transfer it to an enemy, I think it doesn't let you get out. Okay, I'm going to have to... How on earth am I going to do this?
What?
Could you just go in and go into the control panel in the back? Okay, we'll do that. Oh, I can use it now. Okay, and then share...
I think you might have been stuck.
I don't get how I was stuck though. Anyway, if this happens, just get your grinder out. That's always the answer.
Right, now let's go over wheel settings. So you've got your wheels, and you're wondering what to do with them. Safety detach, don't touch that. Steering, if you turn all these off, I can go forwards and backwards, but I can't go left and right. That's basically it. So we want them on. Propulsion is your forwards and backwards. Brake is when you turn your handbrake on. Air shock is it automatically increases the strength of the suspension when it hits the ground.
Which is very useful when you go off a cliff, but can
Yep.
also bounce you. So if you've got a heavy rover, you don't really want that.
And now these are fun if you want to mess with your friends. You can turn the steering the other way round. You can invert steering and propulsion. So I'm now pressing W. Oh, hang on, let me take the handbrake off. Pressing W and I'm going backwards. Pressing S, I'm going forwards. D to go left and I go right. So it can get incredibly confusing for said friend. But
Yes.
I can't drive like that. Now your steering angle is the maximum angle your wheels will turn from neutral, so forwards. Power is power supplied to the wheels for propulsion. So if I have it really low, it will have a really low acceleration. Strength is like if I turn it to 0, the whole vehicle just sags.
It's how much strength is in the suspension. So if you've got a heavy vehicle, you want it higher so the suspension doesn't sag.
Yeah. Height offset is the height of the wheel on the suspension. If I turn it down, the whole vehicle sinks. Turn it up, it rises. Friction is the how much? Yeah, it's just friction.
Turn it to 0 and try and drive. As you can see, you don't get much grip and you're just slipping sideways.
It's actually quite fun to drive like this.
It is quite fun.
Oh, hang on.
Yep, you can't stop.
Ah.
So this is with friction at 0. Now
I'd recommend never having it higher than 50 to 75%.
otherwise you just stick.
Higher for heavier vehicles, basically. And then you've got the most important one, the speed limit. Now this goes anywhere from 0 kilometers an hour to unlimited.
Now, one really annoying thing is the speed gauge that's in the bottom left is in meters a second. Everything is in meters a second except for the speed that you can set on the wheels. That's in kilometers an hour.
Exactly. Right, now let's get to some setup. So, what I generally do is I turn steering off for the back wheels. Which ones are the back wheels?
I don't know, you're just going to have to guess.
Nope. Now this is basically what you do. you randomly... Oh great, now I've got steering on only the back wheels. Turn them on and off until you find the two which have... There we go, that's better. And there is another thing you can do which is quite good. If I'm accelerating and I brake, the front end digs into the ground.
Nice.
So, if you go into your wheel settings and you turn braking off on the front wheels,
so the ones with steering.
the ones with steering, if you turn it off, I now need to use my gyro. Right, and now we're going to do a crash course on the gyroscope. You've got your gyroscope, you can move it with your mouse, but you've also got override controls, which is your pitch and roll, which for some reason you can put more force behind the grid when you use override.
I can actually push this. I can push it and it adds rotation force to it.
Now I never know which
I shall
one
tell you which way you're going.
of your pitch and roll
Okay, you're actually going the
is
right
which.
way.
So the best thing to do
Stop.
is just mess around with them.
Yeah.
So now you see, when I brake, I don't slam the front end into the ground.
Obviously, it takes longer to brake because you're only using two wheels. You can fix that by having a six-wheeler. The wheel setup for 6 wheels, 3 either side, is one at the front and then 2 close together at the back. Front one steers.
Yeah. Another thing you can do, if you don't want to have this problem when you accelerate the back lifts up, is just quite simply turn propulsion on the off on the back wheels.
Which will make you accelerate slower, but will stop that problem.
As you can now see,
And you won't be able to go as higher cliffs.
we are now as stable as we're ever going to get. Right, now I've waffled on for long enough, I'm now going to talk about the power settings, so more waffle.
Waffles are very nice.
Power is, if you have the power really high, your vehicle will run out of, power really quick. But the higher you have it, the steeper you can climb. I reckon a good starting point is about 30% power.
And as your vehicle gets heavier, you need to turn the power up so that it can have the same acceleration.
Yep, about 12 on the strength, but this alters per vehicle. But for this particular vehicle, they're the settings that I would go for, and turn the speed limit down to 180 kilometers an hour. And we've got propulsion overrides, which are fun but annoying because the wheels are all wrong. Hang on. Diddy, I have a little word for it with you.
Yeah?
You've used all right wheels.
Yes, I have.
So the tread's backwards. Anyway, right, so yeah, it's basically wheel setup and a bit on the gyroscopes. Right, I'm handing back over to you then, Diddy. What are you going to do now?
Right, the next thing, the reason we built this is so you can go and get cobalt, which is an underground ore, or you can find it in boulders. That was a mouthful. So what you want to do is go to your ore detector. Oh, it's actually set to the max range. It's set to 50 meters. So as you can see, this yellow thing that says ice, that is an ore deposit. Now, we know there's ice because there's snow, but I believe that's actually an ice deposit, not just snow.
No, snow is ice.
No, but like, it's too deep, but whatever. So what you want to do is go round looking for like grayer patches on the ground. This is a really rubbish biome to look for ore deposits in because it's obviously grey. So you just want to drive around for a bit looking for ore deposits. They will appear as a yellow marker if you're within 50 meters of it.
There is also a trick to spotting ore deposits.
Here is a boulder. Now I might get lucky and this might be cobalt straight away.
That is cobalt.
So this is a boulder. They're quite large and you can get quite a substantial amount of ore from them. So what you want to do, get out, get your hand drill out and do some drilling.
And bring a mining buddy.
Yes. Now as you can see, this first bit is just stone, but then this bit is cobalt, it's the bluest stuff. My inventory is now completely full with stone.
Excellent.
Not excellent, we don't need stone, we need cobalt.
Whatever. You can get about 20 to 30k of ore from most boulders.
If you're hand drilling. If you're using a normal drill, so like this, which you can place down and is more efficient, you can get about, I think I got 150k from an entire boulder. Obviously, large grid drills give you a higher yield yet again, but cost more. That's enough cobalt for now.
I'm just getting some in my inventory.
Okay, well, I'm going. Bye.
Oh.
Oh, hang on. No, the next thing you want to do is you're going to get quite lost with getting back to here. So what you want to do is press K, go to GPS menu, new from current position, and just name this Cobalt. Now you can set the colour here. That's just what's going to appear on your HUD, saturation and vibrance. They both say saturation, but whatever. They've got it the wrong way around. The saturation one, if you hover over it, says value, and the value one actually says saturation. That's brilliant.
Yep, nice Diddy. I'm stealing the vehicle. See ya. Which way's the base?
That was a fatal flaw. We forgot to make a GPS for the base.
Yes, basically, before you leave, make a GPS.
Here it is, though, because it's only like 300 meters away. So that is our cobalt. Now, you can also find silver and gold, iron, silicon, and nickel deposits. They are of different values. Obviously, iron and stuff you can get from stone. It's more efficient to use the ore. Silver and gold are more, shall we say, premium ores, and they are used for advancing into the tech tree and going to space.
Are we going to actually put this cobalt in the refinery, or are we just going to leave it?
That's a good point, actually. Cobalt goes in the basic refinery. It is the only physical ore that can, other than your basic ones. Silver and gold will not work in the basic refinery.
And platinum.
And platinum. And uranium. But that's for another video.
Right, we're now producing cobalt, which means we could make metal grids, except we need a bit more.
Yeah, you need one.
And you use metal grids for thrusters. So you've got your atmospheric thrusters, which use metal grids, your ion thrusters, which work in space. You've also got hydrogen thrusters, which are
the best.
Yeah, they're the best. They work in space and in atmosphere.
I'm trying to stand on Eric's head, by the way.
Right, I think we've gone through everything now, so that is going to be the end of our second survival tutorial. So, thank you all for watching, and we shall see you next time. So, goodbye!